What's up, y'all? What's going on? You know, the Braxton family, no value. You know what's so crazy to me? I'm gonna wait for a few more people to get in and we're gonna get started. I wanted to talk about the Braxtons just for a little bit. I know I say this every time, but I really don't plan on being on here a long time tonight because I really do have to watch. I have to rewatch Potomac and do that. I haven't done the Potomac review yet, so I really have, and I want to do a hot topics video. So I really have to. I can't be on here too long tonight because I really have stuff to do. But I'm gonna wait for a few more people to get in here. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Let me know if y'all can hear me. Okay, y'all can hear me. Okay. 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 Now I think I'm better than everybody. Okay. Now I think I'm better than everybody. Okay. Oh wait. Okay, purr, baby. Now I think I'm better than everybody. Okay. Woo, wait. Listen, let's just go ahead and get into it. Um, I think it's so crazy. You know what I think is crazy? Is that, and it's insane because this show was originally titled, well, I don't know the original title, but the title of this show before they changed the title was Braxton Family Values. And I'm assuming they named the show that because they probably felt that they could show us um, the dynamic of a real family, the values that this family holds. And as we have come to see, there are no values. That's exactly why I call them Braxton family, no values. Now it's just the Braxtons, but before it was Braxton family values. They wanted to show us. They wanted to show us. I said this in my review, and I am not the person who likes to put everything on the woman. Y'all already know that. So for me to go down this road with the Braxtons, I really sat back and just thought about it. And I really do put the majority of the blame on Miss Evelyn. I do. It's not to excuse the father, because the father is the father and the father was also in the household. But what I've seen, even as of last year, and it may be because, again, Michael is not really on the show. But the times I've seen him on the show, his stance, from what I can remember, has never been to make sure the sisters are pushed together. Like every time I see Miss Evelyn, it's always y'all are sisters. Y'all are sisters. Y'all are sisters. Don't forget about your sisters. This is a sisterhood. Don't argue with your sister. That's your sister. I remember even last season, that was still Miss Evelyn's stance. I feel like Michael, at this point, I think with him, and I could be wrong, because again, that man he's not really a part of the show like that. But I feel like with Michael, I feel like with him, it's more of they grown, let them figure it out. It is what it is at this point. And I feel like with Miss Evelyn, it's still, that's your sister. That's your sister. And I'm going to go ahead and say something, and I don't mean to sound insensitive. And then especially with Tracy passing away, I could definitely see her also pushing you already lost one sister. You know, it's no shade, but people will use the death of a loved one to make people feel as though they should become closer due to the death in the family that just happened. So I can see Tracy's death low-key being something that she brings up in conversation as to why the sisters should be close. Baby, the way they cut up and acted a fool last night, Friday night, whenever the show aired, I came out of that episode looking at everybody sideways. I did. I came out of that episode looking at everyone sideways. I really didn't like. I know Tamar is a lot. I know she is. But I really didn't like how they tried to play with Tamar and her mental health. Especially being, if we're going to be honest, everybody at the table sick. Hello? I just think the road to go down when I just think that it's the road to go down when you're in an argument with someone should not be, oh girl, I'm not gonna argue with you. I'm not gonna argue with a sick person. As if whatever Tamar has going on mentally, what does that have to do with what's happening right now? Tamar does. I would assume it's severe. Anyone who tries to take their own life, I would assume that would be considered severe. I don't know. I'm not a mental health doctor, professional, expert. I ain't got no certificate. So I would say that Tamar's mental health was at one point a severe case, being that she tried to commit suicide. But what that got to do with your husband who's dead trying to fuck our 16-year-old niece? That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. What does my mental health have to do with the fact that you know you owe me $35,000, $50 when you add in that phone bill? That don't have nothing to do with nothing. It really don't. Tamar's mental health in that scenario didn't have nothing to do with nothing that was going on at the table. Because it still ain't gonna change the fact that your husband that you stayed with and remarried, girl, was trying to fuck your niece. It ain't gonna change the fact that you know you owe me $35,000 plus dollars. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Like, that won't change nothing at this table. It won't change the fact that our niece came out on the TikTok and said that Gabe and her were texting and that Gabe was trying to crawl between her legs. That's pretty much what Gabe was trying to do. I'm with the diva. Shout out to Erica De Niro TV. Like she said on Twitter, baby, I would have went around that whole table. I would have went around that whole table. Because can't no table, everybody at this table has an illness. And we're just going to go ahead and put it out there. Everybody at this table has something wrong with them. Hello? Everyone at this table has something wrong with them. Everybody at this table is sick. In some form, some way, somehow, some capacity. So for Trina, so for Tawanda, and I'm really trying to watch what I say because I'm really gonna cuss them out. Girl, so for Tawanda to sit there and be like, I don't argue with sick people. And then for Tony to be looking in the what is it called? What is it called? The camera. They're gonna say mental health is real. Mental health is real. I thought they were going really, really low. Don't get it twisted. Tamar Tamar was her first one to really start telling folks business when she decided to just put it out there that Tawanda, well, I know what you say because I put down your down payment. Oh God! Oh, God! Oh wait! Oh wait! Oh wait! Oh wait! Oh wait! Oh wait! I know where you live because I put down your down payment. Tamar was doing a lot. I'm not gonna lie. As far as her delivery, as far as her antics, Tamar is very animated. She's very over the top. It is very Real Housewives of Atlanta, very quad esque, right? It's a lot. That could be a lot. It can be. Girl, like, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I wasn't looking at Tamar like, girl. No, don't get it twisted. I was laughing at the same time. I was actually screaming at some of the stuff Tamar was saying. But Tamar, it can be the animation, the over the topness can be a lot. It can. It can. But I think also with that being said, once you get past the animation, if you listen to what Tamar is saying, Tamar is telling some truth. You know? Tamar is telling some truth. It's a lot. Is it a lot of extraness? It is. And I think that I don't know if Tamar was having an episode or not. It didn't seem like it to me, but I don't know. But I think that they tried to make it seem as though Tamar was having an episode. I think that's how they tried to make it seem. Now, was she? I didn't take it that way. I just took it as a girl. She just been extra. She's just doing the most. But the way that Tony and Tawanda tried to make it seem was as if maybe she was having one. I feel like sometimes, especially like in this scenario, again, I don't know. Like I said, it didn't give that to me, but I don't know. Um, I feel like that's a way, especially for them, to dismiss what Tamar was saying by attaching her mental illness to the message. I felt like that was what Tawanda really was trying to get at, and low key Tony too, with her trifling ass. Low key Tony too. By if we kind of tap on the mental illness, then it diminishes what she's trying to say. So then people will just say, "Oh, she's crazy." So then it becomes more about what she did, how she acted, instead of listening to what she said. See, I feel like I know how to compartmentalize. Like I can look at Tamar and say, "Girl, she's doing the absolute most," but I'm also listening to what that bitch is saying too. Okay, is she doing the most? Yes, but girl, I'm also listening to what's coming out of her mouth. Hello, and all y'all sit at that table and lied. They tried to gaslight Tamar. Tony said her girl used to be black ass at that table, talking about Tamar was lying. I tried to tell the people that Tamar is not lying, just for Tony to turn around and admit in the confessional that, yeah, she did tell Tamar that. But at the table, you told Tamar she was lying, which also played a part in probably why Tamar was cutting up. Baby, a seafood platter of issues like bipolar disorder, narcissistic personality disorder, Stockholm syndrome, and kleptomania all at the table. I will keep saying that Tay is a villain, but not solely. I know that's right. I'm with you. That's the thing. Tamar is not the only problematic one. She not. They all are. Tony too. They just not gonna call out Tony because Tony is Tony Braxton. Tony lied. Tamar lied. I don't know how old Tamar was when she slept with Tony's boyfriend. I don't know. But when she got to that scene with that producer, she said, "Girl, that happened in 1995." She bringing up something 20 years later. That's what Tamar said. That's why I said, "Girl, if you listen to what they were saying, all they black asses were sitting at that table lying." Okay, all of them was sitting there lying. Tawanda was lying. Tamar was lying. Trina, she ain't too much say nothing, but she lied by omission. And Tony was lying. They all lied at least once or twice at that table. They did. I think she said 2005. I think she said 2005. Was it 1995? I can't remember what she said, girl. I don't know. Who did the cease and desist come from? Who did the cease and desist come from? Who did it come from? I'm assuming it came from Michael now. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's the brother. Because the brother also sent Ashley one, and that's his daughter. So I could definitely see them getting into. I could definitely see them giving Tamar one if he gave Ashley one. Mm. So they saying it was a brother. I thought it was Trina at first. I thought it was strange though how Tina. I thought it was strange though how Trina just sat at that table and she really didn't she really didn't join in on the conversation. I don't I don't see it for Trina. Trina sat right at that table. She barely joined in on the conversation. And did y'all see that smirk she had on her face when Tamar stood up and threw and hit the glass? Trina had that smirk on her face like, go back and watch. It almost felt like, even though Tamar is a grown ass woman, don't get it twisted. Tamar is a grown ass woman, and Tamar should be in control of her emotions and her feelings, especially when she says she's in therapy and she has a therapist on set. Girl, what are they doing, girl? But it doesn't take away from what I also feel like they were trying to get Tamar there. That smirk on Trina's face after Tamar started spazzing out told me everything I needed to know. It told me everything I needed to know. Thank you, Shy Girl's perspective at the table with someone with lupus, mental illness, alcoholic, now food addiction, and alopecia. It's all manifested illness that stem from suppression and anger. They were wrong for calling Tamar out. Baby, 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 do you hear me? Do you hear me? Tamar is a better bitch than I could ever be. Because as soon as Tony would have said anything to me, girl, I'm not even gonna say what I would have said to Tony. I'm not even gonna say what I would have told Tony. I'm not even gonna say what I would have told Tony. Tawanda, as soon as she said anything to me, Trina, girl, you better not say nothing to me. Cause we would have wore that table out. Tony would have been ready to fight me. Ready to fight me. And Tawanda, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not. Let me tell y'all something. I don't believe in talking to people just because you family. I don't believe that. I don't believe it. If we don't like each other, we don't like each other. But it does. One thing that I want to ask, and one of the cousins brought this up, and I wanted to. I'm glad they brought it up in the comment section because I forgot to mention this in my review, was why didn't Tawanda get the money from Tony? Why didn't Tony let her borrow or gift her $35,000? Because I'm sure it got around that Tawanda was needing help getting that house. Why didn't Tony give her the money? Why did Tamar need to let her borrow, as what Tawanda said? What's up, Cynthia G? I haven't called a live in a minute. What's up, Rodney? Baby, nothing. Over here talking about these Braxton family no values. It's a mess. Tony said she was done. Tony said, I'm done helping y'all. I want to know what the man was doing too. Because he's supposed to be the provider and the protector and the leader. And girl, you ain't even got no money to get get no place for you and your woman and your kids to lay your head. I know those his step kids. But girl, your kids to lay their heads. So what was you doing, Mr. Provider? If Tamar had to step up and give Tawanda that money, and I think Tawanda is a goddamn lie. Tamar ain't gave her no $35,000. Let me tell y'all something, and I said this in my review. Tawanda has been slick. Wait, Tawanda has a wait. Oh, Tawanda been a slick bomb. She went from Tony's house to Trina's house to Tamar buying a car and loaning money. She burned her bridges. That's the thing, we could say what we want to say about Tamar, but Tamar has helped her family out. Tamar has helped her family out. I remember Tamar buying Tawanda a car. This was back in the Braxton family value days. She bought Tawanda a car. Then she turned around and loaned her $35,000 for a house. Her and Tony were the only ones who were paying Miss Evelyn's bills at one point. I don't think that just because someone does you a favor, that means you're indebted to them for the rest of your life. I don't believe that. Because somebody can do you a favor and they can still be horrible. Like somebody can do something for you and they still be a horrible human being. But with Tawanda, I do feel like Tawanda got a tad bit too much nerve. Like Tamar has done a lot to you. And that don't mean you got to keep Tamar in your life forever. If you don't like her, you don't like her. I do want to know, I don't know. I just feel like that $35,000 stuff, Tamar wasn't on her feet like that. That lifestyle that Tamar was living when she was with Vince, that lifestyle came to a halt. Please believe it. The money, the estate that she lived in when she was in Calabasas, I think Tamar is in Atlanta because she ain't got no choice. Because if Tamar could go back to LA tomorrow, she would go back to LA. It's affordable for her to be in Atlanta versus LA. And around 2018, when she gave Tawanda that money, Tamar was on Big Brother, Celebrity Big Brother in 2019. She won, and she was crying about when she won the money. She was crying because she said she could finally buy her and her son a home. That's what she said. Tamar has said she hates living in Atlanta. Tamar does not like living in Atlanta. So that's why I was like, I don't believe that Tamar gave that lady no $35,000. I don't believe Tamar gave her no $35,000. I think Tamar probably did it because that's my sister. And baby, we live, baby. I think Tamar did it because that's my sister. And that's what we were taught to do, to look out for our sisters. But girl, I'm gonna need you to get my motherfucking money back though. Like, I'm gonna need you to get my money back. Because I can't, I'm not in a position, I'm not in a position, I'm not in a position to just gift you $35,000. Tawanda, and the gag to me was Tawanda sitting, who almost saw cussing that lady out. Tawanda sitting there, girl, with a Louis Vuitton bag. I said, baby, the devil is busy. Baby, the devil is busy. Girl, to sit there, you owe your, and you know you owe your girl to sit there, and you, girl, we already got clips of you, girl, Tamar going through your house, girl, and you got her clothes in your closet. That's one. So we know you got sticky fingers. You don't like to return folks' clothes. You steal people's clothes without asking. Now, girl, we look up you saying that the $35,000 was a gift, even though they say on your bankruptcy documents you have it as a part of your debt. Tawanda? 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 Wanda? 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 The girl said that. I didn't like how I didn't like. Tamar is problematic though. We're not gonna act like she not. We're not gonna act like she not. While I definitely was side eyeing Tony, while I was definitely side eyeing Trina and Tawanda, Tamar has been problematic. And we know Tamar has been problematic. And it's just not with her sisters. Tamar does have a problem with her relationships. The way I would have said this sick person's money is good for you though, with your bald headed ass. You and your man run me my money. Now I know that's right. Hello? Baby, that's why I said, baby, I'm trying to watch what I'm trying to say. Trina never goes off. It would have been out of character for her to do. She goes along to get along. She was already talking to Tamar after the kick. Thank you, Willow. And can I say something though? Girl, when I tell you Tawanda, I thought that was some nasty work. When Tawanda was like, let's call the cops and press charges, I said, oh, let me tell y'all something. I talk a lot of shit. I have never called the cops on anyone yet. Okay? I have never called the cops on anyone. I don't think I've ever been in a position where I felt like I needed to get the cops involved. Bitch, we just saw Kim and Courtney in Calabasas knocking each other head between a washer and a dryer. Girl, we just saw two white bitches. Girl, in Calabasas, California. Girl, swinging. Girls. Girl, y'all don't remember Kim and Courtney? Down to the Keeping Up with the Kardashians? Girl, knocking each other upside their head. Y'all don't remember that? Y'all don't remember Kim and Courtney? Girl, fighting. Bitch. to the point, girl, I think they started staining, they was fighting in Chloe's house. Girl, knocking each other upside the head, and them bitches didn't even call the cops, and them bitches was swinging on each other. Bitch, let me tell you something. Bitch, the white bitches on the other side of town, bitch, not the other side of town, bitch, the other coast, bitch. Bitch, the bitches on the west coast, bitch, was knocking each other upside the head, and they didn't even call the cops. And here goes the Wanda bald-headed ass. Ooh, girl. Girl, I was about to start dragging to Wanda. I was about to start dragging that lady. Let me shut up. And here go to Wanda. Talking about let's call the what did you say? Let's call the cops. Let's press charges. Girl, listen. Tamar did not do all of that to the point where the cops need to be called. Like, okay, did she have any business putting her hands on Trina? No, she did not. No, she didn't. No, she didn't. But girl, I'm sorry. This is just how I look at it. It wasn't enough going on to the point where, girl, the cops needed to be called. Tawanda, you hate Tamar that much? Give me my motherfucking money. Okay, I should call the cops on you. It sure is crazy how bitch y'all want to call the cops on me, but when that nigga was walking around here trying to fuck on our niece, y'all didn't call the cops on that motherfucker. Girl, let me shut up. Cause I'm about to start dragging. You know what I'm saying? You want to call the cops on me. You want to call the cops on me. You want to call the cops on me. But when y'all found out that nigga who that bitch was married to was trying to fuck on our 16-year-old niece, y'all done called the cops on him. Matter of fact, your whack ass turned back around and married the nigga again. When I thought of it, wearing asses out at that motherfucking table, we would have been going all the way there. the nerve of a thief to want to call the cops. Right, girl, you fucking thief want to call the cops. Now y'all wanna call the cops. Now y'all wanna call the cops. Now y'all wanna call the cops. Girl. Tawanda, your slip is showing. If you hate Tamar, just say that. No need to call the law. That's all I'm saying. It wasn't even that deep. Tamar pulled Trina's wig. She like pulled it, and Trina's head went back. And they say I didn't see her kick her, but they said that Trina Tamar was kicking, and she kicked Trina. But girl, clearly, why you, girl? Trina not even. Girl, we just gonna be honest, bitch. Trina ain't even worried about it, bitch. You more worked up than Trina is. And did y'all hear Tony? Did y'all hear Tony? We're not gonna forget Tony. I know we love Tony, but we gotta call a thing a thing. Did y'all hear Tony telling Tamar that she was gonna owe everybody an apology? Did y'all hear when Tony said that? Did y'all hear when Tony said that? Tony told Tamar that she was gonna owe everybody an apology. Girl, for what? For what? For what? Why I owe everybody an apology? If anything, your sister Trina owes your niece an apology. That's what y'all don't want to talk about. If anything, your sister Trina needs to be handing out some motherfucking apologies. It ain't me. I ain't gotta apologize for a motherfucking thing. I can see Birdman shutting down the money exchanges between Tony and Tawanda. Thank you, Nitwit. Girl, I could see if Michael, don't get it twisted. Oh shit, my contact. I need to take these contacts out. I could see if Michael had punched one of them in the face, then girl, we calling the cops. Girl, I'm sorry. I'm not changing my mind. If Michael was there and he had punched one of the girls in the face, then bitch, we definitely calling the cops. This big ass nigga just hit one of his sisters. Punch her dead in her face. But girl, we're not calling no motherfucking cops because girl Tamar or one of the girls pulled girl just pulled at your wig and girl kicked you and girl she kicked you. Girl, we're not calling the cops over no shit like that. And it's amazing how the thief of the group want to call the cops on somebody. Look, Bill. It's amazing how Little Bill. Hey, Little Bill. Hey, Little Bill. Girl, let me get off here. Girl, I'm about to talk. Girl, y'all about to get me. Hey, Little Bill. It's amazing how Little Bill, girl, want to call the cops on everybody. When her ass was walking around here stealing. Girl, stealing clothes. And talking about, girl, committing fraud. Because they said on that paper, Little Bill, that you put down. Girl, I'm about to go. Girl, I'm about to go. Girl, let me get some water. Because I'm about to start dragging Tawanda in about 5 seconds. I can feel it coming on. I can feel it coming on. I'm going to start, let me. Girl, I can feel it coming on. Girl, I can feel it. Let me calm down, because I'm about to start dragging Tawanda in about 5 seconds. I done called that lady Little Bill. I have. I did. Tawanda get on my motherfucking nerves. She do. She do. Little Bill, that's what I called her. And I'm not changing my mind. I'm not changing my mind. I'm not changing my mind. Girl, okay. Girl, Little Bill sitting there, girl, wanting to call the cops on somebody. And girl, she got sticky fingers. Girl, and they say you over there, they say you over there falsifying documents, girl. Girl. When I tell you Tawanda could say a goddamn thing to me, girl, they say you falsifying documents, girl, because they said on that document, girl, you listed that money I gave you as a loan. But now you telling the people that it was a gift. So which one is it, girl? Which one is it? Because they say you falsifying documents. They said on that document, on the documentation, girl, they said you put it down as, girl, it was a loan. But now, girl, you trying to tell the girls over here on WeTV that it was a gift. The situation was bad enough. No cops were needed. It was painful to watch them act like that. They went pretty low. It's clear they don't like each other. But they really did go low. Girl, like, right. Talking about she the responsible one. I can't tell. I can't tell. That's a mess. I'm just saying, y'all. I think Tamar is problematic, and I'm not going. My mind not changing because of what we have witnessed on the show. Tamar probably is the most problematic one out of all of them, but it does not take away that Trina, she ain't about shit. Trina just got her black ass down to the internet the other day and said that the other person involved in the Ashley and Gabe situation, he's not here to tell his side. When Trina said that, I'm side-eyeing the whole family showing up to Trina and Gabe's second wedding if it was after him texting the niece. I don't think that Tony, I don't think they knew. I don't know about Tawanda, but the way that Tony said it the other night was like she just found out, and Tamar said she just found out when Ashley came out. Tamar didn't know. Tamar just found out when Ashley came out and said it on TikTok. And the way that Tony said it, the way I took it, was like Tony just found out too. So I feel like the only people that knew was Trina, of course Gabe, Ashley, Ashley's father, the stepmama, because the stepmama found the text messages. And I don't know about anybody else. I don't know about anybody else. So I don't know if Tawanda knew at the time, if Miss E knew at the time. I don't know how many people knew outside of those folk. Yeah. Yeah. I really think that they just don't like the fact that Tamar was trying to give Ashley a platform. I think Tony, like Tony said, Tony wanted Ashley to come onto the Braxtons and tell the story. So I don't think Tony really necessarily cared, I guess. I don't think that Tony liked that Tamar was trying to, I guess, get the story because Tony wanted Ashley to come on the show and tell the story. But I think that Tony probably got pissed off at Tamar when Tamar said, no, that bitch gonna come onto my podcast. And that's why Tony ended up calling Tamar's podcast a chitlin circuit. I would have cussed that bitch out. That would have hurt my feelings for my girl. Can you imagine your sister telling you, girl, that little shit, girl, like that would have hurt my feelings. It would have. Like, damn, bitch. She got. That's why she got. I think that's why she got mad at. I think she got mad at Tamar. But I don't blame Tamar. Girl, Ashley can come on my podcast and she can come on the show. You know what I'm saying? Those are two different platforms. They are connected. But girl, she can do both. Ashley going on to Tamar's podcast would not stop her from coming onto that show. So I think that's why Tony, I think that's more so why Tony was bothered. And now I think that Tony, and I think Tawanda and Trina on the other hand, I think that Tawanda just don't like Tamar. And I think that Trina, of course, didn't want it to happen because girl, it's gonna make Trina look bad. Because that was your husband and you know what I'm saying? And you still stayed with the nigga. I don't know. It's a mess though. Uh-uh. I never. I wish Gabe was still alive to receive the smoke he deserves. As far as we who knew about it, you just never know because according to Tamar, she told the family about her situation and no one helped her. That's another thing too. I want to know. I want to know. I want to know. I want to know, girl. Ooh, that is so fucked up to me. It really is. I don't feel like I do not feel like watching Potomac again. Is Trina still cooking food that clogged her husband's arteries? Girl, I believe so. I don't know. I don't keep up with Trina, all that man like that. Trina divorced Gabe and married him a second time. Uh huh. Trina ain't shit. Trina ain't shit. Trina ain't shit. And Trina, y'all saw how Trina said the least at the table. I think they should come back for another season. I do. I like the Braxtons. Believe it or not, it's a mess, but I feel like it's real TV. I think a lot of people don't like the Braxtons because it can be traumatizing. It can be triggering. However, I think that with the Braxtons, I think that they give us real TV. If you go back and watch my reviews from Braxton Family Values, I used to always say that these heifers are fake. They are not as close as they are trying to portray. I used to always say that in my reviews. These girls are not close. I could tell they fake. They're not as close as they're trying to make it seem. Do they just hate each other's guts? No. But are they just this sisterhood? We're the sisterhood and we're the girls. Stop. 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 Now here we are. Because if y'all were close, y'all would still be close. Especially with the death of one of your sisters. That would have brought y'all closer. But girl, quiet as it's kept, it looked like girl is making shit really hit the fan. If we just gonna go ahead and put it out there. Oh, excuse me. I might have Potomac up tomorrow. I might watch it tonight. Tawanda can't stand. Tell my contact. My eyes are running. Tawanda can't stand. Tawanda can't stand Tamar. I knew she couldn't stand. I knew she couldn't stand Tamar when she said, "Let's call the cops and press charges." Right then and there, I was like, "Oh, girl, she really don't like Tamar." I wouldn't even trust if I was Tamar. I wouldn't even trust being around Tawanda. I wouldn't. Girl, out of all the arguments and fights we got into, girl, we ain't never called the cops before. And I'm not trying to sweep stuff under the rug. I'm not. That's not what I'm doing. Please don't think I'm trying to sweep it under the rug. But girl, y'all sisters. Girl, y'all done probably got into more fights than y'all probably done. You know what I'm saying? Like, girl, stop. Like, girl, stop acting like this some random bitch at the motherfucking club who came up trying to swing on y'all. Like, girl, stop. Like, I don't like stuff like that. Like, girl, like, if I had got into a fight with my brother, I would not be trying to call the cops. I'd be like, girl, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm just not, like, I could see if it was one of the men who had, like, probably punched one of the girls, then yeah, we probably gonna call the cops because bitch, this nigga just punched this girl. But we're not gonna be calling no cops because girl, Trina just got her wig tugged a little bit. But that's how I knew right then and I was like, oh, Tawanda. Like, I knew they didn't like each other. I knew they didn't like. I knew they didn't like each other, but I didn't know that it was to the point where, girl, you're trying to get this bitch locked up. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew they didn't like each other, but I didn't know it was like that. Like that, I thought it was like they don't like each other, but girl, they can still be cordial and they'll still be cool. Like when Tamar walked in, she kissed and gave Tawanda a hug. She kissed and gave Trina a hug. So I was like, even though they don't fool with each other, when they do come around, they can still just be like, hey sister, how you doing? Hey girl, how you doing? And they just gonna go. And then when it's over, they go their separate ways. But girl, this kind of made me believe that Tawanda really hates Tamar. Because girl, you just tried to get your sister locked up. Girl, over a wig tugging. That bitch didn't even happen to you. Because you ain't got nothing to pull. Because your bald-headed ass ain't got nothing to pull. Girl, like, it didn't even happen to you. Girl, it happened to Trina. And you more worked up than Trina. Trina don't even give a damn. I think I would be done with Tawanda. I would never trust being around her because girl, you trying to get me locked up. Like, I would never trust being around Tawanda because you would try to get me locked up. That's just it. That's just it. But you trying to call the cops and shit? Oh, girl, I gotta go. Girl, this bitch is calling the cops. Girl, I gotta go. Girl, I got a son at the house. Bitch, I got children at the house, bitch. This bitch trying to get a bitch. She's trying to get a bitch locked up. Girl, I gotta go. Fuck that hoe. Okay. I gotta go. I'm like, girl, cause I tugged the bitch wig. Girl, we done got into 17,000 fights, bitch. We grew up in the house together. Girl, I guarantee you, Tawanda and Tamar got into fist fights before. Tony and Tawanda probably got in fist fights before. I'm sure they have all put their hands on each other at one point. I'm almost sure. Okay? I'm like 100% sure that all of those sisters have gotten into physical fights before. Now, I know they grown now, but it doesn't take away from the fact that, well, I ain't gonna say it's a fact. It doesn't take away from what I believe that they have all gotten into physical fights before with each other. And girl, y'all get over it because, they sisters and it is what it is. So girl, for us to now, girl, be almost 50 and you want to get a bitch locked up at 50? Yeah. And I ain't even did nothing to you. I could see if it was a bitch who I tugged on her wig. I ain't even tugged on yours. I tried, but my hands was slipping. I tried to grab you, but girl, my hands kept doing like this. I couldn't grab onto nothing. So I grabbed onto Trina's. Bald-headed heifer. Because I want to get on my nerves. Thinking of my nerves. I lost all respect for Tawanda after that shit. That shit really did make me look at Tawanda sideways. Like, Tawanda, you trying to call the cops on that girl? I don't like stuff like that. I don't. Bitch, I bought you a car when you didn't have a car. I gave you $35,000 to get, girl, not gave. I let you borrow $35,000 that I really didn't have to give. I couldn't take that chance giving it to you, and I still gave it to you anyways. Bitch, I done found clothes in my closet, in your closet from that belong to me. You see what I'm saying? Bitch, I done paid your cell phone bill for 4 years, for a family of 6. And girl, you have the nerve. Like, I'm not saying that, again, I don't want to make it seem as though just because people do something for you, that means you have to kiss their ass for the rest of your life, because you don't. Not only did she try to get her locked up, but she took a dig at her mental health, saying she don't argue with sick people. A mess. I'm not saying that you are indebted to people forever because you do something for them. But at some point, it's like, damn, Tawanda, like your like you act like Tamar ain't never did nothing for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, is it really that deep with you and Tawanda, with you and Tamar, to the point? I don't know. I was just like, I don't know. I just thought that would seem too much for Tawanda to try to get the cops involved. I did. I just did. But anyways, it is what it is. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. And got the nerve to be sitting there talking about girl. I didn't like the fact they tried to throw that in Tamar's face. I didn't. I didn't like the fact they tried to throw Tamar's mental illness in her face, as if every helper at this table ain't got some type of illness. I thought that was real low. I thought that was low. I did. I thought that when Tawanda was like, I don't argue with sick people. And when Tony looked in the camera and said mental health is real. Mental health is real. Tony, girl, let me watch my mouth. Anyways, all right, y'all. I just wanted to come on here and just do a quick 1-2 and just run my mouth. I'm about to watch. Girl, I really don't feel like watching Potomac. I don't know why. I think I'm about to drink some coffee. I think I need to drink some coffee. Tawny was definitely nasty. Tawny was nasty. Tawny was really nasty. Tawny was nasty. I said, ooh, Tawny, this is not a good look, sister. You're supposed to be the living legend. But girl, you a mess. And you mean. Talking about Tamar's a mean girl. Bitch, you mean too. You just looked in the camera and girl, threw your sister's mental health out there as a dig. You mean too. You mean too. You mean too. Tamar ain't the only mean one. You mean too. And you just showed us how mean you were. And you a liar. You just sat here and lied and said Tamar was telling a lie. You sat at that table and said that Tamar was lying. When she said you said, when I tell you this, you said that. I said Tamar not lying. I knew Tamar wasn't lying just for the simple fact that Tamar really don't go after Tony like that. I can't recall a time where Tamar was really like, fuck Tony Braxton. And because Tamar was acting like that with Tony, I was like, oh girl, Tamar not lying. Tamar she might have some words for Trina. She might have words for Tracy. She might have words for Tawanda, but she really don't do all of that with Tony like that. So when she was fed up with Tony, I said, oh girl, Tamar not lying. She telling the truth. Bitch. When Tony said, hold up. This is my favorite part. Hold up. Girl, when Tawanda and Tamar got into it, I'm gonna go. Tawanda and Tamar got into it. Tawanda said, but what did you steal? Hold up, bitch. Okay. Tawanda and Tamar got into it. And then Tawanda said, but what did you steal? And then Tamar said, I don't steal anything. And then Tawanda said, you don't? And then Tamar said, what I stole? And then Tawanda said, you stole men. And then Tamar said, who's the man I stole? And then Tawanda said, Tony's. Who's the man I stole? And then Tawanda said, Tony's. What man? You slept with him a few times. What's the man? And then she said a name. And then Tamar got up, and it was a glass on the table. She knocked that glass over, and she said, "You dirty low down bitch." And then Tamar got in Tony's face, and then Tamar sat back down, and then she said, "He said he fucked Tawanda. He said he fucked Tawanda." And then Tawanda said, you know that's a lie. And then Tamar said, I swear. And then Tony said, mental illness is real. And then Tamar said, so I'm crazy? So I'm crazy. So you trying to say I'm crazy? And then Tony said, you gonna regret this. And then Tony said, you gonna regret this. And then Tamar said, I don't give a fuck. You see that? That's that Grammy throat. Bitch. Tony said, you gonna regret this. And then Tamar said, I don't give a fuck. You see that? That's that Grammy throat. Bitch! Baby, the way I was over here screaming at my television. Yeah. 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 And then you know the part that really hot, the part that killed me was after it was all said and done. Tamar was unhinged but funny as fuck. Tamar was trying to get to Trina, and it was like, no. She was like, move! I'm not gonna hit my sister. Tamar now. Move! I'm not gonna hit my sister. You put your hands on me. Hello, bitch. Bitch, hold up. They was trying to stop Tamar from going over to Trina. And she was like, move! I'm not gonna hit my sister. You put your hands on me. Tamar, you just pulled this lady wig and kicked her. Now you're talking about, I'm not gonna put my hands on that's my sister. Now that's your sister. Now that's your sister, girl. But just 5 minutes ago, you was tugging that bitch wig and trying to rearrange her motherfucking spine. Girl, just 5 minutes ago, bitch, you was pop. Girl, you was just Chun Li, bitch, kicking a bitch. Girl, you was just kicking this bitch 5 minutes ago. Girl, kicking this bitch. Now all of a sudden, bitch, I'm not gonna put my hands on my sister. That's my sister. I'm not gonna put my hands on my sister. That's it, Tamar, baby. Bitch. Girl, what I said, that was a mess. Ooh, yeah. Got to turn my AC off. Okay. Ooh. I didn't feel like Trina really touched her. I felt like Tamar just wanted to fight. I do. I feel like at that point, Tamar just wanted to fight. Because even with Trina getting up, she didn't touch Tamar in an aggressive way. She wasn't trying to hold Tamar's arms down. If anything, the men were grabbing Tamar more than Trina was. Trina really literally stood up, got in between them, and put her hand like this. But the way Tamar was acting was as if Trina tried to hold her from, like, like people like, stop. Like, that's how Tamar was acting, like as if Trina tried to hold her hands, tried to stop her from swinging, when Trina literally just got in the middle of you and Tony. And if anybody touched Tamar the most, it was the men. It wasn't Trina. I just think at that point, Tamar just wanted to fight. And so whoever was going to get it was going to get it. If Tamar was going to hit anybody, it should have been the men. Because the men were touching her more than Trina touched her. And Trina didn't even really touch her per se. I mean, she tried to get in the middle. But it wasn't nothing. The same way I feel like Tawanda was doing the most about trying to get the cops involved because Tamar tugged on Trina's wig and supposedly kicked Trina in the back. I felt the same way with Tamar saying that Trina touched her. Girl, ain't nobody touched you to the point where, girl, you should have been trying to fight Trina. The same way nobody did anything that was bad enough for the cops to be involved, Trina didn't do anything that was bad enough for Tamar to want to tug her wig and kick her in the back. At that point, Tamar just wanted to fight. And she just wanted to fight Trina. But Trina didn't do anything to Tamar that was so aggressive that would make Tamar just want to fight Trina. Because the truth of the matter is Trina hadn't really been saying shit the whole goddamn conversation. Tawanda was out of line at one point, and Tamar was out of line in that scenario, and at that point of the fight. If anything, the bitches who Tamar should have been trying to whoop should have been Tony and Tawanda at that point. Now, she want to fight Trina because Trina, I just think you an ain't shit bitch who to protect our niece, then that's fine. Then that's fine. But if we're going by what happened in the scene, who she should have been trying to whoop on was Tawanda and Tony. Ooh. But they were playing with Tamar though. They were. They definitely ganged up on Tamar. They did. They definitely ganged up on Tamar. Anyways, child. That's all I wanted. I just would come down here and talk about these Braxton sisters. All right, y'all. I'm about to drink some coffee because I really do need to get this Potomac review out tonight, and I need to rewatch it. I started rewatching. I was taking some notes, so I need to finish watching it, take some notes, and then I want to try to have that out tonight. So my graveyard girls and boys. If y'all want to have, if y'all looking for something to watch, then I could have something to watch for the grave shift, the graveyard girls and boys. And then, when the other boys and girls wake up getting ready for work, it'll already be something lock and loaded. So you'll have something to listen to on your way to work in the morning. You know what I'm saying? All right, y'all, I'm gone. I'll talk to y'all hopefully later on. Y'all have a good night. Bye, y'all.